Hi, my friends. Today, I want to share a story with you. I hope you enjoy it. The Brennan estate stood on a hill like a cold, lifeless statue. It was big and fancy, but it felt empty and quiet, so quiet it almost hurt your ears. I came there when I was 6 years old, holding a worn-out stuffed rabbit. There was dried blood on my sleeve. My mom had died the day before in a car crash. One loud, metal crash and she was gone. She was always careless, said Stella Brennan as I walked in, soaked from the rain. It was only a matter of time. No one hugged me. No one told me they were sorry. They put me in the attic. No curtains, just one thin blanket, and a cracked window that made a whistling sound in the wind. That night, I lay on the cold mattress and whispered, "Mommy," over and over until my throat hurt and my rabbit was wet with tears. I thought maybe she'd come back for me. I didn't understand that the dead don't come back, not even up a hill. My mom, Livia, was the outcast of the Brennan family. She was too full of passion, too rebellious, too much herself. At 20, she left with a man the Brennans didn't like. She gave up their money and their rules and never looked back. When he left her, she raised me alone in a small apartment downtown. The Brennans said she had failed. They only took me in after she died because sending me to foster care would make them look bad. Brennan by blood, but not in spirit. Maximus once said, "Not even looking at me. Just like your mother." Foolish. One morning, I reached for a piece of toast. My cousin Erica pulled it away. "That's not for strays," she said. No one stopped her. They gave me food, clothes, and school, but never love. I learned to stay quiet. I stopped sharing my drawings after Stella laughed at one and said, just like Livia, always drawing instead of learning something useful. So I hid them in a shoebox under my bed, along with letters I wrote to my mom, even though I knew she'd never answer. Once, I asked my Aunt Amara about my mom. It was a quiet Sunday. "What was my mom like?" I asked. She looked at me in the mirror and said, "Too wild for this family. Too alive." That was all she said. But I remembered her laugh, bright and loud and free. I remembered how she called me Firefly, like I lit up her world. That memory was the only warmth I had. So I held on to her, to my drawings, to hope. Even if the house didn't want me. Even if I had to learn to survive by staying silent. By 16, I could move through the Brennan house without making a sound. I knew which stairs creaked, which windows stuck, and where to hide when voices downstairs turned angry. I had learned how to disappear, not just in body, but in heart. They couldn't hurt me if they couldn't reach me. But the silence started to feel heavier. The attic felt smaller. The cold nights felt longer. One afternoon, I stood at the top of the big staircase. I watched Erica float down in a silk dress. She laughed, and it sounded soft and sweet, like perfume in the air. I wore old clothes that didn't fit and had rough hands from working hard. As she walked by, Erica hissed, "You really think you belong here? You're just a stain we covered up." I didn't say anything. I never did. But that night, I quietly packed my things, my sketchbook, 2 sets of clothes, my mom's locket, and my old rabbit toy. I tiptoed past Stella's room. She was snoring. Maximus' study door was shut, his jazz music playing softly. The whole house was asleep, full of itself. The front door creaked. My heart jumped. Then I heard a voice behind me. "Kelly?" It was Amara, standing in her robe. Her eyes looked sad. "You don't have to leave," she said gently. I looked at her closely. She always seemed like she wanted to say something but never did. "Yes," I said. "I do." She pulled out a folded bill from her pocket and gave it to me. "Take this, please." I didn't say thank you. I couldn't. But I took it and I left. The city was loud, fast, and didn't care who I was. I slept in libraries. I drew faces on napkins for small change. I worked in kitchens, cleaned floors, and painted stories on alley walls that no one asked for. But I was free. Every painting was a part of me I refused to hide. Every canvas was my voice. I was getting by, but I knew I would do more than just survive. One day, I would rise. Now, my office is made of glass, high above the city. Fifth Avenue sparkled below. My assistant spoke through the intercom. Miss Brennan, someone's here for a walk-in interview. Her name's Erica Brennan. The name hit me like a rock thrown into still water. Send her up, I said, closing the sketchbook on my desk. A moment later, she walked in, wearing high heels and a forced smile. She didn't recognize me at first. She looked at the art on the walls. My art. Then she saw my name on the desk. Her face went pale. Kelly. Hi, Erica. I didn't offer her a seat. Been a while. She blinked. This is your company? I raised an eyebrow. Didn't your resume say you were great at research? She looked embarrassed. I didn't know you were alive. Or successful. Or even a real person. She sighed. My mom's sick. Aunt Stella, well, you know how she is. The money's all gone. The house is being sold. I need a job. She wore fake designer clothes and fake confidence. She used to laugh at my cheap jeans. She once ripped my sketch and made me cry. Now she was standing here, asking for help. I looked at your application, I said, pulling out a folder. You're average, but I'll give you the job. Her mouth dropped open. Really? Mailroom. You start Monday.
She stared at me.
Then, for the first time ever, she said, Thank you. I nodded. Work hard. No shortcuts. She turned to leave, then paused. Kelly, we were terrible to you. I was terrible. I'm sorry. I didn't answer right away. I used to dream someone would come and save me, I said. No one did. So, I became her. The door closed behind her. I sat down slowly, heart heavy, but strong. Not broken. That little girl in the attic was gone. She had built her own home. At first, Erica acted well-behaved, quiet, polite, like she'd changed. She wore her fake kindness like a brand-new coat, stiff, uncomfortable, and not really hers. It fooled most people, but not me. By the third week, I started hearing rumors. Kelly didn't build this on her own, they said. Some rich boyfriend helped her open the gallery. No one gets successful that fast. Whispers spread through the office like smoke slipping under a door. People looked at me differently. One day, someone left a blog post open on the break room computer. It read, The Myth of the Muse, Kelly Brennan's Rise and the Men Who Made It Possible. I recognized the voice behind it. I'd grown up hearing it whisper from the hallway while I cried in the attic. But this time I didn't cry. Bring Erica to my office, I told my assistant. She walked in with that fake smile, pretending to be innocent. You wanted to see me? I stood. I know what you've been saying. She raised her eyebrows, pretending not to understand. Excuse me? I laid papers on the desk, screenshots of gossip, fake stories, and hurtful comments. You didn't think I'd find out. But I did. Her silence said it all. I gave you a job, I said. A fresh start. And you try to take away everything I worked for. Her mask dropped. You don't deserve this. You were nothing. A charity case. I stared at her. Your mother stood by while mine was destroyed in that house. And you? You finished the job. Erica's face went pale. You're fired, I said. Right now. Security will walk you out. Her voice shook. You think you're better than us? I looked her straight in the eye. No. I know I am. As she left, I saw my reflection in the glass wall. For a moment, I thought I saw my mother standing behind me, smiling. Now, our home stands on the coast, where the sea talks to the sand, and the wind brings laughter instead of painful memories. Big windows let in the morning sun. The walls are painted in colors I used to dream about. Soft gold, ocean blue, warm white. This house feels alive. It feels like home. James was in the kitchen, humming as he packed lunches. I sat by the window with a hot cup of coffee, watching Lily chase Theo across the yard. Their laughter filled the air like music. Lily has her dad's calm, and my fire. Theo sees the world with bright, curious eyes. They are my heart. Babe, James called, kissing my head. You'll be late if you keep watching them like that. I smiled. We built this life together, step by step, choice by choice. I left behind the pain, the shadows, and the bitterness, and chose love instead. Real love. The kind that stays. The kind that shows up when things get hard. The kind that holds your hand in the storm. That night, after dinner and bedtime stories, I returned to my studio. A blank canvas waited for me. I touched the frame, closed my eyes, and smiled. Not every masterpiece hangs in a gallery. Some live in laughter, in warm beds, in quiet moments like this one. I dipped my brush in a soft shade of sunrise, touched it to the canvas, and whispered, "I made it, Mom. I'm finally free." What did you think of the story, friends? Let me know in the comments. Want more powerful stories like this? Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a new video. See you tomorrow.